Most people don't know, or the doctors don't know what cancer is. In your research, what is it? What have you found?
Well, cancer is something we give ourselves. And doctors and researchers want to say that, no, it's genes. We're mapping the human genome. You know, that's where we're going to find that cure for cancer. Well, they're not going to find it there because the cause doesn't lie there. And what happens in the human body is a result of how the owner treats it. And we as Americans have, unfortunately, and I love America and I love Americans, but we've kind of become a fat, lazy country. And we need to do something about that, because when we do the right things, we don't get cancer. Cancer is proliferating today for a reason. We're drinking way too much soda pop. We're drinking diet pop. And if you want brain cancer, drink diet pop. I can almost guarantee you that over time you will get it. So we're doing all the wrong things. We put lotions and potions and what we wash our hair with on our body. They're all carcinogens unless you're buying something that's natural. We drink fluoridated water. Fluoride is a deadly poison. It will kill you as well over time. Chlorinated water. We take showers in chlorinated water. We cook our food to death. That destroys all the goodness in our food. We don't eat any raw food, you know. Raw carrot, kid's not going to eat a raw carrot. He's been taught not to. French fries are not a vegetable, yet they're taught they are. So we give cancer to ourselves by how we treat our bodies, and it causes the body to acidify. And when your body gets acid, all these foods and drinks are acidic. Your inner environment in your body becomes acid. And guess what? Pathogens thrive in acidity. When you're in a clinical environment and doing research and you're testing pathogens, what do? You put acid in there first in that little beaker or whatever, because they grow in acid. If you put it in alkaline, it wouldn't grow. And so it would kill it. Alkaline body is uninhabitable for cancer and all other diseases. Doctors should know this, but almost all Americans are acidic. And that's the reason why we're so sick and getting sicker. We need to stop that.
More and more laws are being created every month, every year, every week that curb our rights and our freedom. These are the laws created by the governments and the people we put into positions of authority, our servants that are supposed to serve us, right? And these servants are making laws that constantly curtail and decrease our rights and our freedoms. It has turned our planet into a planet of brands, corporations, and where jobs are promised to people. Every time we hear a politician talk about, oh, we're going to create 1 million more jobs, all they're really saying is we're going to create 1 million more slaves, when this is supposed to be our planet. What this really points to is the fact that this thing called money has infiltrated every crack and crevice of our existence. Every aspect of our lives, from the first breath we take till the last breath we breathe out. It's a complete insanity how this has been distorted. This thing of believing that we are free needs to be addressed. And the people that still run around saying that I'm free, I can do what I want, live in a complete and utter illusion. So the historic resistance to money goes back thousands of years. It's not something new. This very popular character, Jesus or Jeshua or Issa, one of the famous incidents is when he apparently chased out the bankers or the money changers from the temple. One of the few moments or events of his life where he probably showed violence or became violent with other individuals. It was with the bankers in the temple. Because this is really, really significant. That the original bankers were actually the royal priests and the kings, and the banks were the first banks were their temples. The global financial institution is the largest organized crime syndicate in the world. Very few people actually have any clue or idea where money really comes from. So the origins of money, when and how did it get so bad? What was the first money created? How did it come into existence and creation? The critical information about the origins of money comes to us from the Sumerian text, the Sumerian tablets, that give us a lot of information about the earliest kings, the first kings of the world, and a lot of other information. That there was a time in history these gods that were causing havoc on planet Earth, and especially in the land of Sumer and interacting with the Sumerian people. There was a time that the royal bloodlines suddenly emerged on Earth, and that these priest kings, these first priest kings, were actually appointed. The first priest kings were appointed by the gods, and we suddenly see the appearance of the royal political bloodlines. And then suddenly they had all this money and they owned all the land. So this is the origins of the royal bloodlines, and these are the guys that have passed down the royal bloodline control for thousands of years. And the banking families are part of this ancient royal bloodline. Only the royalty knew how to write. They had scribes. Only written material ever came out of the royal palaces and the temples with the scribes. The average people didn't know how to do that, so they couldn't even read. Money was maliciously introduced as a tool of enslavement. This seems to be the moment that this happened. In these ancient times, when the first royal bloodlines were introduced, when these first priest kings suddenly appear. Because most of us are under the misconception that money is a consequence of thousands of years of barter and trade. Money was maliciously introduced as a tool of enslavement. That is its only pure intent, is to enslave people. Instead of having chains and whips, you have a thing called money. The first kings owned all the land. They were the first bankers, and the temples were the first banks, somehow imbued with some sort of black magic that has turned people into mumbling idiots. Look what money does to people. It makes some people go crazy. It makes people commit murder. It makes people kill their families, kill their friends, kill their partners. It makes people commit horrendous crimes because of this thing called money. It's tainted with blood, and this is what we need to get away from.
The House of Gonzaga is an Italian nobility family who ruled Lombardy, Italy